Kenji, a big VTuber, got doxxed by another VTuber who a lot of people know, a lot of the larger ones know, and it's coming to a head right now. Aia Amare is being feel uncomfortable by the messages that some people send her, trying to get her to leave Nijisanji. And the canine Kuro Rima Evenstar downfall backlash is really getting pretty serious. Here is a VTuber that I have followed. I don't follow them on Twitter currently, but I've, followed their YouTube stuff. I've been watching their YouTube stuff a lot recently. It's Kenji. He's a person that's outspoken. He's a VTuber who is a reaction channel, and he also does gaming on the side. He has two channels. He has Kenji and then Kenji Plus. Kenji Plus is where he does his reaction stuff. Kenji is where he does like his gaming stuff and other bigger news, bigger things that he does. He is just a chill, fun person, it seems like. He is very outspoken. He's very true to himself. He's sometimes he can get those true to himself parts can get himself in a little bit of trouble, in the sense that people on Twitter will get angry at him. But then again, what won't Twitter people get angry at? So he is just a chill dude. Like I said, he has this channel here, 691K. As you can see, it's basically, little things. His listening to J-pop, his reacting to cringe pop. He has Kenji, Kenji Plus, Kenji Plays, Kenji VODs, and Kenji Animations. He has all these that he's managing to do all at the same time, which is very, respectable. He, asks his mom and all that kind of stuff. Mom is busty mom, I guess. He has the Kenji Reacts portion. He has all this stuff in here. So he's a pretty big creator. 691 is like huge for me, compared to me. This happened to him. It happened to him recently. Apparently he was not trying to have this be a thing. He was trying to make sure that this was not going to be a big thing. It was not going to be something that, he was going to put out there, because sometimes when you put stuff out there, it becomes more of a problem. It can put a spotlight on it, and then people will start talking about your past, which people always tend to do for some dumb reasons. And I don't get why people do that, but yeah, people will do that, unfortunately. So here he says, I cried on stream and broke down out of frustration yesterday. I was told at DovealoveVT, which is this person here, who has protected their post after this happened. They privated their Twitter because they got caught in 4K. They got caught doing something that they shouldn't do. They got caught doing something that in the community, in the VTuber community, is seen as really bad. Doxing somebody. First of all, threatening to dox somebody is bad, but actually doxing somebody is much worse. This person, Phoenix VT as well, is someone that also was involved in this whole thing. They were apparently in a actual voice call, and they were downplaying the fact that they doxed the person. They doxed Kenji. It's been effing with my mental state ever since he told me. I don't know who else she's been downplaying it to, but let me remind you, Dove, you didn't allegedly dox me. So this Phoenix VT is just someone that they talk to. It's not someone actually doing the doxing. It's not someone actually doing anything. The only person who's done any type of doxing is DovealoveVT. DovealoveVT. So that's the person who actually doxed someone. I guess they were found out, and Phoenix VT tried to figure out what was happening, is my assumption, and then they were downplaying the fact that they had doxed somebody. You put out my personal information, shared pictures, and videos of me in a Discord hate group chat. So she's part of a hate group chat. Basically, Kenji hate, I guess. They're hating on this guy named Kenji. And she put out all this information. Personal Instagram, personal other stuff, the face, the body, everything. The reason I took down my initial post, so he made a post about this initially. The reason why he took it down and swept everything under the rug was because he feared if he didn't get on her good side, she'd continue to cause trouble behind the scenes. Now that is something that does happen, where you feel like if you put this out there, since they're big and they know big VTubers, they know big people, that they may destroy you or try to destroy you by making up false allegations. It happens all the time, unfortunately, in this world, especially on Twitter, where people try to get clout for certain things. It happens a lot. I didn't want my government name and face being the center of attention. I didn't want to put my safety or my family's safety at risk. But at this point, I don't know what to do. If she's that comfortable downplaying what she's done in voice calls now, I don't think keeping quiet will be the safest option for me. Also, to the people that knew what she did and still chose to F with her, do this and block me. I'm tired of being silenced and living in fear. He shares, of course, redacted the face, posted my pictures in a group chat to do nothing but hate, and then said my full name, their full government name, my full personal Instagram. Doesn't Kenji, I know what, in order for you to go to parties in Cali, you gotta have clout. So yeah, it's a full-on hate group. This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. I don't know how people think this can be fine. Then Trey responded, stay safe. I can't imagine what's going through your head right now, especially in the situation like this. Please be sure to let yourself breathe for a moment and think of all your options as well when it comes to decisions that involve yourself and your loved ones. Much love. Rima responded. Ilara responded. I'm going to respond. Yeah, your well-being is the most important thing. Yeah, there's a difference between making like a Google Doc and, accusing someone of doing something and actually having proof out here of someone actually doxing you. This is horrible. This should never happen. This is just going above and beyond everything that I could ever imagine someone doing. I know doxing is always a thing. I know people are a-holes. I know people are going to be a-holes. They're going to be for all that stuff because I don't know. It's just weird how people will just create a hate group, number one, and then go online and just try to spread dislike of somebody for the way they look or the way that they act online as their persona, because I think the Kenji thing is a persona for him. That is just wrong on so many levels. I cannot fathom how someone can do this and just live with themselves like, oh, that's fine, and then try to downplay it after they got caught. After they got caught in 4K, caught red-handed, they try to downplay it and be like, nah, it wasn't even that big. I didn't really dox him. That type of thing. When this dude broke down on stream, man, it really affects you because you don't know if you're going to get swatted. You don't know if you're going to get the police called on you. You don't know if you're going to get a stalker. You don't know if you're going to get, threatening packages sent to you. You don't know what the heck is going to happen. If people know where you live, if people know your name, they might come after you, especially if it's in a hate group. You already have people who don't like you. They might come after you and try to actually hurt you. This isn't good. This isn't the VTuber, community that I want. This isn't the VTuber community that I know. But then again, there are crazy people out there on the internet that will do anything and everything to hurt someone else that they themselves don't like or what have you. But please, people, if you dislike somebody, block them. If you dislike somebody, don't talk to them. Don't go and do stuff like this. Even if you know how they look, even if you know where they live, don't go and do stuff like this. Be better than that. Be a better human being. Be a better individual than this. Don't go and, be this type of person out there. So Aia Amare is tired and uncomfortable. A lot of things have been happening in Nijisanji. A lot of things have been happening to Nijisanji. And the livers, sometimes it does affect their mental health. I can't say that this is exactly what's happening with Aia Amare, but let's take a look and see exactly what's going on here.
Lapsing was like, I'm doing this for your own good. How do you know it's good for me? Are you my mommy? Are you Mea?
Mommy?
Are you Papa? Are you Ang? Do you know me? Do you know my favorite? Can you, without fail, within the next 10 seconds, can you name my favorite color? It's like, it's wild to me because these people don't even know who I am, but claim to want to know, to do the best for me. You've never seen me before. What makes you think bullying me out of my job is gonna do?
Yeah, no, bullying is never good. Bullying is never right. This whole situation, trying to bully her because she has a job in Nijisanji, I never want to do that. I never want anyone in my community to do that. So that is bad. If people were doing that, which I don't doubt at all that people were doing that to her, it's really bad.
I'll support you. You don't even support me. You never did before.
True.
And plus,
she's got a point now.
I want people to support me to spite something else? No. I want people to watch me because they like me so we can geek out about D&D for 3 hours.
Yeah. Exactly.
We can just goof around and be silly, play Minecraft for 6 hours straight, play Baldur's Gate for a reasonable 9 hours, It's like, if you want to harass me out of my job, no. My hobby. This is my hobby. If you want to harass me out of my hobby, what makes you think I want you, huh? Where's the logic in that?
Doesn't have any logic.
Do you think I want you? If you never supported me before, you don't even know my name. You don't even know who I am. You don't even know what my content is. What makes you think you're gonna suddenly start following me just to spite something else? I don't want a viewership of people who just do not, they just want to follow for the sake of spite. No, I want to stream because I like streaming dumb shit. That's it.
True. I mean, yeah.
Can you see how that makes me deeply uncomfortable? And I don't know if they're watching, if the people who are sending me weird messages, I don't know if you're watching, but I'm uncomfortable, okay? And that's me putting it very nicely. I'm uncomfortable, okay?
That's just not right. Number one, don't contact the livers this way. Don't you can criticize, like I criticize a bunch. I always criticize a lot of people a bunch. Aya was not someone that I criticized ever, because as far as I have seen, Aya has really done nothing wrong. Aya was out of the clique thing. She tried to stay to herself, just like Scarle did. She seems like someone that didn't want to get into any kind of controversy, didn't want to get to any kind of hate watching or hate anything, or even be a part of the internal politics of the company. She just wanted to create her content, go on, do her own things, and enjoy herself and her community, which is her right to do. This is never right. Do not go and just be like, you should quit, because when you quit, you're going to get a lot of support, and then I'm going to support you there because I want to, you know, I want to see ex-needy livers do really well. I just want to see livers do well. If they're in Nijisanji, for example, I want Nijisanji to change so that they have a good experience, so it can be like a Hololive experience for them. I'm not one of the people that wants Nijisanji to burn. I want Nijisanji to be restructured. I want them to get good and competent people in there so that the livers can actually feel like they are needed, like they're wanted, like they're important, like they matter. I want that for the livers. I want that for the VTubers in there, because a lot of them are stuck behind 2-year contracts. They're stuck behind a contract that they won't be able to get out of anytime soon. So I definitely want them to be comfortable and have a safe place where they can do their content and be happy with their community. Now let's see what people are saying. I get trying to give her support, but the way that person donated to her with that kind of message made my stomach churn. I can see why people would make her uncomfortable. It may have been made with good intentions, but honestly, they should not have done that at all. Absolutely. If anything, that may have pushed Aya away from the support people want to give her. Absolutely. This is why you need to think before you act. Think about how what you're doing is going to make people feel with whatever you're about to do. By now, we've all seen what happens when you don't thoroughly think about what you're posting, what you say online. Ken and Kuro situation comes to mind. With every action, there's always a reaction. Both sides have delusional people. Most sane people want Nijisanji to take responsibility and start supporting their livers like myself, so they don't have to take breaks every month and cause mental health. And like Doki. Also, people shouldn't overanalyze anything. That's how schizo starts. That's sort of how you take care of a talent, give them sound financial and fan footing so they can feel comfortable taking frequent short breaks. If it's giving this much of a negative attention, we should probably stop bringing up Aya and her PL on here. Just keep whatever discussion we have here, stay here, unless it's open topic everywhere. If it's making her uncomfortable, then I guess it's time to stop talking about her. She doesn't want outside needy support, and that is fine. Why support or put effort towards a person if she doesn't want it? We don't know her side, and she is right. We don't know what's best for her. Better to put time and effort and support into those who want it, and put support into making Nijisanji a better place. Moving on to something with Nijisanji. Nijisanji has opened up full-on auditions, permanent auditions. This person says, good luck to those who will apply, have great senpais and kind managers. That is a lie, and you know it with the managers part. I don't know about the senpai part, because we've gotten rats that have said that they are maybe not so kind sometimes. But the managers part is not something that I ever can see them having good managers. Nijisanji EN regular auditions open. Now you can audition for Nijisanji at any time. So they're so desperate for a new meat wave. They're so desperate for a new wave of people coming in that they, in fact, are making regular auditions an open thing. Now, to be fair, objective, and honest, I believe Hololive did the same thing. I think it was somewhere like a year back. They did it for their own reasons because, you know, they just want to not let go of any good talents, to not let any good talent slip through the cracks just because it's a moment, you know, it's this month or 2 month or whatever. They want to be able to find any new talents and slowly build up their new generations. Because Hololive does actually take care of their generations and take care to have good generations being created, unlike Nijisanji. Nah, it's going to be bait. They must be joking. Saw similar comments say ignore the haters and apply. Like, my brother in Christ, we hate the effing company because they can't effing manage ENs especially. Do they not realize the livers almost blanked themselves? Like, Jesus. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they really want talents to get harmed, possibly, you know, blank, bro. Whoever wrote the comment is either a native speaker or done in purpose. If you apply for this, you have a 39 IQ. And I'm just joking. In my opinion, some talents will have to go. If new talents debut, EGN will just end up thinning out their audience, which is already pretty small. Or the most likely thing to happen, new talents will leave after getting some eyes on themselves, which also means you'd bleed yourself for a whole year. If you're incredibly talented and entertaining. Surely it's sarcasm. You know, yeah, this is not going to go well for them. And this person saying, you know, now they're really desperate, which is basically does reek of desperation for this whole thing. Guess that every pre-debut liver left, they usually announce auditions after the debut. I hope the pre-debut people would be able to get out. It seems like they have. Yeah, it seemed like there was some pre-debut people going around. That's the rat that's going around. And probably a lot of them ended up leaving because, you know, it's Nijisanji. You're not going to be staying there for the Nijisanji stuff. You're not going to be doing that because you already know how bad it's going to be, so you probably just want to get out. If I worked there, my liver would be gone too from needing an effing drink all the time. They can't even promote their newest wave, LMAO, plus the other things going on in there. Absolutely effing not. I'd rather step on Legos barefoot than audition for them. I didn't even know TTT was going to debut, and I didn't even know they were called TTT. That's the thing. They're not good at announcing their talents. They really aren't. It really is horrible for them. Now that I read your comment a couple of times, why do you think that this wave that they get debuting going to receive a godlike package for their debut? This is not a copium, but seeing how Anycolor tried, looks like they fix Kenji EN by releasing AR Live, Sudden Project, Kenji EN, etc. I think it's kind of an attempt for them to say, hey, we also care about our talent. Just look at this epic debut package promotion. Unit, song, stream layout, setup, etc., etc. Because here's the thing, Anycolor will think this will work. Just like when they release AR Live, how that was, their hardcore fans will still support them. Exactly. So that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make it so that, you know, it's a big, important thing. It's like an amazing thing to join them. More like, are you ready to join Kenji EN and give your entire life to us? Which is basically what happens in this whole thing. But I think people are still going to apply. You know, I may joke apply, but, you know, I have no hope of getting through because I'm going to make it a big joke. I'm going to, you know, try to throw some innuendos in there and try to throw some, like, shade, some rat shade and stuff like that. You know, try to do that. Good news, everyone. It looks like Sayu is no longer blocked by Matara, or at least they're able to respond to Matara's thing, which is nice. Of course, Sayu has always been someone positive, or at least the way I've seen it. She apologized for what got Matara kind of angry, which was when she was going through, when Sayu was going through her emotions, she had an emotional stream where she mentioned how supposedly, you know, Nina Kosaka talked to her and said some things, which I'm not going to share here because, you know, it made Matara angry. So I'm not going to put it out here. And the issue was that those things were said in confidence. Those things were said out of, you know, trust. And they were said in a private voice call. And even though, you know, it was something that was just, you know, maybe Sayu didn't think it was going to be so bad, it was something that did affect Matara and did make her feel like, you know, she couldn't trust her or whatever it was. And I understand that part, but I'm glad that Matara's a very sweet person. So the fact that she could forgive her and let her, you know, probably back in, and at least back in enough to be able to, you know, chat with her and do that kind of stuff. So here she is. It says, long message incoming. I read that message in one of my videos. She says, this is honestly so wonderful to hear. You've always deserved this, and no, it's not for me to say, but it's true. Sometimes we just don't know how happy we can be until we are. What matters is that you're here now, and I hope it stays. Just goes to show that we don't always know everything that's going on behind the scenes. And quite honestly, we don't need to know. Yeah, it's really where I'm at. The always sunny meme seems to apply when it comes to these people's social media presence, and I can't help but roll my eyes just a little. We aren't owed, nor do we need to know what goes on behind the scenes here. So long as they aren't being harmful, who cares? If Matara wants to stay out of the conversation, that's her choice, and giving her history with the NDF, I don't blame her. Would love to see her collab with Doki? Of course. Am I going to immediately assume she's malicious if she doesn't? Absolutely not. I think if anything, what this does show is important. It is not to overanalyze Twitter activity or lack thereof, which is very, very true. I've said it previously, but when it comes to Matara and Doki, as long as it isn't any slander going on, I'm happy. The overanalyzing lately has been biting back at everyone who feels like we don't really need to create more enemies. There's still some irrefutable facts. Any color of the company pushed two people to make attempts in their lives, and I tried to smear them into the ground. They did try to smear people into the ground, so that's not good. Sayu W, I hope this isn't a fluke or a fake tweet. Let's hope some of the bridges can be remade. All I'm gonna say is that while we are a lot of time with them there's a lot of time behind the scenes. We can never say what's happening. Exactly. We can never really tell what's happening behind the scenes. Maybe she was able to find a way to talk to Matara. Maybe she was able to find a way to do that, or maybe Matara saw the videos on it. Maybe Matara saw the clips on it. Maybe Matara was like, you know what, I should give her another chance. As long as she doesn't break my trust like she did the last time, everything's gonna be fine. And even if she didn't want to, even if she always kept her blocked, that is something that Matara can do, and that is something that Matara, if she wants to, she has every right to do. Now, with all of the stuff that's been going on, we remember K9 Kuro decided to put his stuff out there and kind of open his mouth, which is his right, but he made it worse by kind of just trying to dog on somebody for their response. Everyone has a right to a response, and everyone has a right to criticize a response, of course. But the way in which he did it was just not right, and it was a little too far, in my opinion. Of course, I'm an opinionated squirrel, so this is just an opinion of mine. He apologized for disrespecting a holiday culture, but couldn't apologize to a person because he made them into a scapegoat. The backlash is not big enough. Just say I'm sorry. Is it hard to say when the threats, those type of threats, are involved? All bets are off. I even said I would stay neutral with him, but this is unacceptable. Warning, loud audio. Oh, and this is probably something, it's Detroit Become Human. Just say I blanked him. Is that, or say yeah, they did a Detroit Become Human thing. I'm not going to put it there because it's freaking copyright struck probably. I don't think he cares. Every time he'll do something without thinking of the consequences and only apologizes if there's backlash. But thanks to him, we get 1 to 2% merch leaks. Yeah, 2% was instrumental to the Nijisanji EN downfall. Basically, that single slip-up cost Riku billions. Thank you, Kuro from Kuro-sanji. You have saved Jesus, Doki, and the other ex-Niji people. You have truly mastered the Niji back PR. Don't you remember what he wrote in his garbled post? What's the point in apologizing? All the other crap he wrote? Yeah, he did say what's the point in apologizing. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Context, his newest rant. You're talking about the sentence out of context. He said, what's the point in apologizing if no one will accept it? Or something along those lines. Still, an apology means that you are going to be at least showing that you are, trying to reflect on what happened and trying to make sure that you're going to make it right. That's what apologies are for. Because he would confirm he was at fault and he would need to scold his fans, and that's a no-no. Because he's trying to be an entertainer, a creator, etc. Everyone has gaffes. Everyone has moments that they make a mistake in what they say. Everyone has moments where they make a mistake in what they do. I'm not saying he should be free of every single bad, every single thing. He should be, held to a higher standard, etc. He should be held to the standard that everybody's being held to, which is if you make a mistake, you apologize for it. I'm the kind of person that I apologize for it, and boy, do I make a ton of mistakes. But I apologize for each and every one of them, because he isn't the one suffering from the consequences of his own words this time. That's what it seems like. Whose Kuro is, I don't know, it's Mista, would never apologize because he's the one of the golden boys. Guess Niji management forces him. K9 Kuro, I think it's at the point where he's like, this is blown out of proportion. This is blown up way bigger than I thought it would. And I, pretty much can't go back on his word. I think that's what's going on. That's just, again, my opinion. But let's go on to the next one. So I just saw Rima's statement about yesterday, WTF. Kind of self-explanatory. Context, Rima replied to a vague post of K9 Kuro yesterday. He put her and others on blast for it, then went on his alt and dragged her for it even more. To add insult to injury, he even brought up the responses regarding his initial post again when he was live. To sum it up, he basically S-talked everyone for taking posts out of context to fit their narratives, the Ref Says Desu video, and drama farming, despite how he was continually vague posting about the situation. Just this morning, Rima's statement about it, she mentioned that in addition to the usual dogpiling that comes with someone that makes an unpopular post, she even got those type of threats against her life. WTF, maybe it's because I don't have a Twitter account until recently, but it seems like the flash to bang, yes, popular sentiment, flash bang type of thing will be a thing that happens. It is a thing that is horrible on the internet, and it is something that I really don't like. The guy is clearly immature as hell. He proves it almost every day. Well, never expected him to be the good guy. Reset the clock. Thanks Kuro for that D threat that she received. I'm sure he's happy now that he gained Needy Sisters as his fans now, and spat on the people who defended him in the past. Inadvertently or not, though you have to be pretty naive to do it by accident, he has incited hate towards Rima and other drama tubers, especially after tweeting about it on his alt and talking about it on stream. Such a hypocrite when he's caused far more harassment than Rima, who isn't much of a drama tuber and just makes high quality video essays. Yeah, she just makes kind of high quality video essays pretty much. So yeah, typical results of parasocial fans and their socially incompetent Oshis. By the way, I'm 100% on Rima's side. She said absolutely nothing wrong. She didn't say anything wrong. Why isn't Kuro addressing this? People are using his message for threats. So go on. I hope he says something about it, because if he doesn't, yeah, it's not going to end well. So far as I know, he hasn't said anything about it. Based on the K9 Kuro incident, people need to be critical and skeptical against graduated until proven otherwise. There's basically a mindset of people saying that, graduated livers, they're all innocent, they're all this, they're all that. Before the debacle, the mindset of people, graduated talents are the same as terminated talents. People blindly give a free, innocent, and victim card to graduated talents. As far as I can see, the only parties officially wronged by Niji are Mind Maid, Sayu, Doki, and Usan. Looking at this Kuro thing, mask off incident, and whether or not he intentionally became a savior for needy sisters, I think people need to realize that not every graduated talent is as innocent as people want to believe. Eventually, people like Fox and Illyra will graduate in the future as well. Apparently, K9 Kuro has always been a drama baiter like this, even in his Niji days, but he gets angry when the narrative doesn't go his way. As Sayu said in some clip, I forgot which one, people like to say nice things about some VTubers, but I, who knows who they are in real life, say just, oh. Conclusion, as the title says, stop giving a get out of jail free card to them. Just treat everyone as gray or middle ground, pretty much. And this person, Armajer, obviously also never take anything at face value, even if it's coming from your Oshi. They are all entertainers. They make up stories to entertain us. They aren't sharing their lives with us because they want to connect. Also, Kuro has a history of being irresponsible and emotional on social media. Probably likes to drunk tweet. His emotional intelligence has always been low, even during his streams. And his emotional tolerance to feedback is also low. So I'm not surprised at his antics. He obviously loved being one of the favorites until the tax problems thing. Of course. Here we go. A long one, which is basically the same thing. K9 Kuro's branding with no apology would become toxic. He's not apologizing to Rima. You should give Kuro some time to respond back. Worst thing you can do as a content creator is weaponizing your fan base, intentionally or unintentionally. I've been a victim of weaponized fan bases. It's not fun. If you do not denounce extremist fans or send death threats or dissociate from their actions, you're enabling this behavior. It's very true. If you enable it, the more it goes on, the more public will see your branding associated with toxic fans. And the more you toxify your brand, the more your business associations get affected. Kuro, do you want to bring radioactive association to V Shoujo? Really hope you smarten up. It's basically, kind of saying, he shouldn't have done this. Angered and disappointed drama tubers and apparently Rima, who is a commentator. These are people who reach out, who share news. Like it or not, they're part of the industry. You seriously cannot be blinded to think you make them your enemy, who apparently defended you on the Ramadan controversy. Is that a good idea? It's not. What is obvious to some will not be for others. Just a thought I'd share life advice. He really needs to rein in his fan base for everyone and his safety and well-being. You think he'd reflect on his Niji days and learn what path is going down again. Yeah, he needs to reflect on what's going on. He absolutely does. This is just not good. He led to someone getting threats. He led to someone getting mistreated because parasocialism, of course. So criticizing the actions of any color is bullying now. Statement from a VTuber friend about the Niji movement. They gave me permission to post this as they wanted to avoid the detention and harassment. They're not being harassed. K9 Kuro is not being harassed. They are being held to task for what they're doing. They're held accountable is not being harassment. Criticizing a bad take that you've done is not harassment. No one is sending threats to him. No one is doing that. He's making it public. So guess what? You can be criticized on your public tweets. That is something that can happen and will happen. The Nbinted one is also somebody who is has been like a Niji sister, Niji Stan, Niji Karen, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, typical corporate mindset that can't even comprehend criticism. Just keep up the good work and don't let the people gaslight you into believing criticizing someone for a company's harassment. Ignore these people. Absolutely. Because that's what they want. They want to be seen as the victims. They want that victimhood. They absolutely do. They want to destroy you while they get that victimhood. And the last little one about it. She made an announcement because, of the actual things that were happening. The fact that she got threats. The fact that she got all these things. Kuro just made the almost entire DramaTuber community his enemy out of his own vague posting. He definitely made it so that now he has a magnifying glass to everything he does. Absolutely, because everyone, including myself, is going to be watching him like a hawk to see if he makes any mistakes, because now you got the criticism that you're going to be getting, and now you've shown that you were irresponsible, so you're going to mess up eventually. And there we're going to be to let everyone know that, you're going to get criticized. Just like we're doing with Nijisanji, you are now going to have that too. Not as any kind of threat, not as any kind of negative thing, but you've made yourself an open target for people seeing anything that you do wrong. Now people aren't going to give you the benefit of the doubt anymore. Gary paid the very same group who supported him and became his foundation post-Niji, hit as much as he wants with mockery. A lot of drama tubers started to dogpile on him on Discord and X. Even falseeyed apparently got hurt because of his rant. He wants to stay away from drama but keeps vague posting and villainizing the drama tubers. It's like dousing himself with gasoline in a burning house. He really needs to have someone handle his Twitter for him at this point. He really should. He should never have done this. This is my last take on this, hopefully, unless he does something else that's stupid. But this is my last take on this. He should have just not done any of this. Absolutely should not have done any of this. And he's going to reap the rewards of what he's done, because now he has a magnifying glass on him. And of course, no one's going to harass him. I'm not going to harass him. I'm just going to be taking a look at everything he does and criticizing any bad moves that he does, just like I do with Nijisanji. As I do like covering small VTuber news. I will be covering this one. Yami is someone that I personally know, is someone who graduated. I think they did a graduation stream. I believe it was maybe like in January. I would say January of this year, around there. I know it was before the Selen situation. It might have even been way before that. We will see. But the graduation that he did was very heartfelt. And he said, he needed to deal with some personal stuff. He needs to, be able to do his thing, his personal stuff. And he's coming back. I also commented on this because, I've been following him for a while. He was one of the first few who invited me to his server and was extremely kind and gracious in having me there and welcoming me as a friend. So this is something like a bit personal for me. I'm very glad that they're coming back. Some people were saying that he might have been trying to go into Nijisanji. It could very well be. We don't know. But the point is that they're coming back in one way or another for reasons I'd rather not talk about. I'm not okay. My life is looking so grim right now that I don't know what to do. So my hope is that they're doing better. My hope is that they will be doing better. They have a very warm and welcoming community. They have an extremely warm community. They've always been that type of like warm, comfy streamer. So I'm very glad that they're coming back. I always like seeing VTubers. I always like seeing other people come back. Especially when they've been gone for as long as they've been gone. I missed that bullet. If my theory is true, then I wonder what Nijisanji did that almost ruined his entire life in 4 months. Well, to be fair, it's technically possible this actually has nothing to do with Niji. Either way, I hope things get better for them. That being said, I know Grimmy was supposed to graduate, but then reversed the decision and said it's not about Niji. And according to some other commenter, another VTuber was supposed to graduate, but then ungraduated, said they were going to the same place as Grimmy, but then said, but the same place is not Niji, by the way. Citation needed. Does anyone know the announcement in question? Though it sure does sound suspicious, like they're just pretending not Niji to stay out of the drama. Is this VTuber you linked that a person who said they were going to the same place as Niji, or is it another person? As far as Rainy and her friend Shizuko are concerned, there are other agencies having debuts soon. Globy literally this weekend with 2 female talents that could be British based on tweets. Idol will likely be making a debut in their next gen soon with their Spanish gen. Though speculation probably doesn't help, best to wait and see if anyone debuts. I know it cannot be related to Nijisanji, but he graduated in December. In December is when he graduated. It kind of lines up. As for him, it would be better neither be a part of Globy or Idol ES as he's Swedish. I have bad news. This dude is not associated with Niji. It's a PL account of someone in a different agency. Hint. The agency in question is Globy. Oh, they were trying to go to Globy. Okay. So they were trying to go to Globy and it didn't work out. That's a shame because, like I said, Yami's an amazing streamer. Yami's an amazing, comfy streamer, and they would have been great with Globy. They would have been great with anyone else who they were trying to have anything with. It would have been great, and that's probably why they weren't feeling so great. Because when things don't work out that you had big plans for, and you had all this stuff getting ready for a debut, and it doesn't happen, that hurts. That always hurts. But of course, I hope the best for Yami. I'm going to be watching their streams. I'm going to be, welcoming them back with open arms and making sure that they feel comfy whenever they are back. That is all for right now. Of course, comment, like, and subscribe down below. Thank you for being here. Of course, I love having the conversations with you guys. I love having these things with you guys, and I do appreciate it whenever you guys do comment. Take a look at my description for my socials. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's other places that you can check me out, Twitch, etc. And also check on your screen right now, because there might be a video that you might enjoy. Thank you.